So I guess the best place to begin, the media industry is going through a real period of turmoil at the moment, especially with the advent of the digital age.
Yeah.
Do you see this as something that students and graduates at the university can grasp and actually benefit from, or is it creating a lot of problems for students and graduates at all?
All universities and colleges in Britain that are offering or educating journalists and people to work in media are at this point in time trying to adapt now to the digital era. You know, the idea now is to train people, educate people to work on a variety of media platforms. The thing now is to prepare people who are capable of crossing different platforms, who are flexible, who are adaptable. So we're no longer we're no longer training print journalists or TV or radio journalists, but journalists who are able to operate on all of those platforms, who can write, who can do podcasts and blogs and all the other kind of tools that are available now to journalists, and that people who work in the media generally need to be able to use. So as educators, we are adapting. Our courses and our curricula are changing for the multimedia, multi-platform era. Students, I think, are now becoming aware of this as well. They are becoming aware of the fact that, very, very much aware in the last year, I think, that the industry is in a crisis, and that the old rules are changing, and that there are significant differences in the way things work now than say 5, 10, 15 years ago. So there is now, people are learning, and people are beginning to understand that working in the media is going to be a different proposition from what it was in the past.
You mentioned that they're having to learn to write across several different platforms. That is a lot of different writing styles, though. How do you teach those?
Well, what we do in this, in our degree, which is journalism and creative writing, we actually stress the value of writing as a generic skill. To be a writer is what, in my experience, what editors and media executives and so on really look for in people is good writers. People who can tell a story. And once you can write for any platform. Of course, there are differences between TV and radio and online and newspapers, but a good story is a good story, and to be able to write well is a skill that can be transferred across different platforms. So it's about teaching students now for media work generic skills that are going to be of value in any platform. So good writing, being able to gather and research information, to identify a new story when they see one, to be able to package and present it in a form that is appealing to the outlet that they're working for and to the audience, to write well, and to problem solve, to be able to analyse strategically and creatively issues and problems in a newsroom context or in an organisational context. All these things are kind of generic skills which we think are applicable to a variety of platforms, not just one.
Again, though, it seems newsrooms are now looking for journalists who can write, who can also broadcast as well. It seems the skills, you have to have a plethora of skills now. Is that something that has had to come into the education system?
Yeah, I think that what has changed obviously is a major change for media workers and journalists in particular, is that so much of the work of editing and preparing material now is done by the creator, if you like. So in the old days, a news reporter would be out with a film crew and sounds people, and there would be 3 or 4 of them running around, and they would record a film, and then they would send it back, and it would get edited and packed. Now, increasingly, a lot of that stuff is done with lightweight, portable digital technology, which gives the journalist a lot of freedom, but also has to be learned. I mean, people do have to learn how to work. They do have to learn how to use the internet if they're going to use it as media professionals. So there are additional skills that now have to be learned, I suppose, by media workers that they didn't have to learn maybe 10 or 20 years ago. So that is a challenge, yes. I think fortunately now we can see the way that the internet's developing, the social networking sites and so on. These skills are not terribly difficult to learn. You know, how to operate a small camera so that you can do a blog or a video blog or whatever it is, videocast or podcast. The skills themselves are not particularly difficult. Writing is still key. You know, how do you write? If you're going to do a successful blog or a successful podcast, you still have to be able to tell your story clearly and well and in a way that's going to, you know, grab your audience and hold it until the end. Whether you do it with a camera that you've set up in your bedroom, or with a microphone that you're carrying or attached to your iPod or whatever, there are these technical challenges, but they're not that difficult to overcome, I think. You know, and as I said, universities and colleges now increasingly include in their media training the basics of how to work these new digital technologies.
Journalism courses in the UK, and especially in Scotland, have always been popular. I presume you've not seen that slow down at all in recent times?
No.
So, with so many, I mean, there are so many professionals currently working at the moment that have decades of experience here and find it even hard to hold down a job or to find work. How do graduates enter? How are you finding graduates enter the industry at the moment now?
I think a lot of this is it's down to students being proactive, building up their networks, building up their portfolios, making sure that the work gets seen, using any opportunity they can to get the work out there, whether it be paid for or not paid for. You know, websites, for example, independent websites, news sites. I mean, we have some students in our course who are already working professionally for, you know, newspapers in Scotland, online sites, columns, football reporting, sports journalism, reviews of records and films. All of that kind of stuff can go on as students, as it always has done, and that remains, I think, an important route into professional media work, to establish yourself as someone with ability and discipline as a student is possible. There are now so many online outlets, so many places where people can write and be published, including, of course, your own blogs and your own personal websites and so on that people have. And then from there, work placements. We don't offer. It's Strathclyde in particular, for the undergraduates, we don't have a compulsory work placement scheme, but some places do, and we do that for a postgraduate course, which is the accredited NCTJ one. So work placements are still very valuable. Working for local newspapers or online media or whatever during the summer, you know, rolling up and offering your services on a free basis, basically, is still a very good way in. And once you're in the door, of course, as everybody knows, it becomes easier to establish yourself in a sort of proper position. Independent startups, a lot of students, I think, are increasingly setting up their own websites with a view to seeing these as a kind of window display of their ability for professional employers. So all these kind of informal ways. So you study at university, get the degrees, get the qualifications, but also build your network of media contacts, build your portfolio of published work, get work placements organised, voluntary, you know, non-paid kind of work placements in the vacation periods. All of that is the way in.